And a major ruling out of the Supreme Court today, 6-3, in favor of Joe Kennedy, who's joining me right now with his attorney, Jeremy Dice. Joe, you got a win today at the Supreme Court. Your first reaction when you got the news, what went through your mind? What was your reaction?
I was a little confused because everybody, there's a huge rumble going through the room and they're like, there's ours. And I was like, well, what does it say? And they were too busy reading it to tell me if we won or not. And finally they said, oh, we won 6-3. So it was kind of chaotic. And then everybody looks at me and I didn't know what else to do. I just raised my hands. Hey, we scored a touchdown. We got the win. Now it's kind of sinking in a little bit. I haven't stopped smiling all day. And yeah, it's a big sigh of relief right now. It's really nice to be able to just finally breathe, knowing I didn't do anything wrong. And the facts of the case were listened to finally.
Yeah, so this was a 7-year kind of legal saga, and the Bremerton School District put out a statement today saying that the district will comply with the court's ruling, even as we continue to ensure, as we must, that employees don't coerce or pressure students to pray or take part in religious exercises contrary to the students and their families' faith. They say we cannot confirm at this time whether Mr. Kennedy will be coaching in the fall. Do you want to get back on the field? Do you want to get back coaching?
Well, back to yes. That's all I asked for from the very beginning. But I'm in total agreement with the school. Nobody should ever be coerced into doing something against their will. And thank God that wasn't part of this case.
And on top of that, the school district knows very well, based on their own investigation, that no student has ever been coerced into doing anything with prayer with the coach. They said so on October 26th of 2015. But more importantly, look, this victory by the Supreme Court has basically told them that Coach Kennedy is now entitled to the relief we've sought. They directed summary judgment on behalf of Coach Kennedy. That means that we asked him to be a coach again and to be able to pray after the games that he coaches. And so we're just waiting now for the call from the school district to find out when he's got to show up for two-a-days. If the school district's got a different opinion of that, we're happy to take them back to the Supreme Court and have them explain just why they want to defy their order.
Yeah. What is the community, though, in Bremerton, students, faculty, parents? I'm sure you've gotten a lot of messages today. What has been kind of the through line in all of that?
Just absolute joy. Everybody has been congratulating, and they've all been part of it. That's the greatest thing, is that this wasn't my fight alone. I've had everybody from Bremerton, all across the nation, just people supporting me, and has really gotten me through all this. So it's just so nice that we could actually serve up a win for everybody who's fought with me this whole time.
I guess for those who have been following this case, or even for those who have not, what have you been doing kind of in the intervening years and months? I know this is a huge passion for you to, really mold young athletes on and off the field, but what have you been doing?
Well, I went back to school. I thought, I could still be a good representation for kids. It's never too late to go learn. I went back and I finished my master's degree. I had another job I did for years. And now I'm taking care of my father-in-law down in Florida for the interim, because we didn't know when this was ever going to go through. So I've been staying busy and doing part-time jobs down around and just, making a life of it and trying to best support my family.
Joe, take us back, though, to the very beginning and to how we got here today. How did this all start? Conducting prayer on the 50-yard line. Was that, kind of ad hoc, or was that a tradition that you had instilled? Take us back.
Okay. I wasn't even a believer to start with. It was after I got married and my wife was working for the school district, and they offered me the job for 2 years straight, saying that they needed coaches. I finally, things cleared up in my schedule, and I was, hey, I'm going to do this. I just started attending church, and I kind of found God at that point. And over that weekend, when they asked me, hey, we want to offer you this job, I said, well, give me the weekend to think about it. I had to talk with my family, and my kids were at the high school, so I don't know if they wanted to see me 24 hours a day. And that's what I did. I thought about it, prayed about it, talked to my family. And then the movie Facing the Giants came on in the middle of the night. And it was an answer to my prayer. And you can't get any more clear picture than that. And just like in the movie, that's where I got it from, is I was going to give God the credit after every football game, win or lose, right there on the battlefield. And that's what it started. And I did it by myself. It wasn't to include anybody. It was me giving thanks. And then kids started asking, what are you doing out there, coach? I said, I'm just giving thanks for what you did. And they asked if they could join. Well, it's a free country. Of course they can. I can't tell them not to either. Right. So that went on for 8 years. Sometimes they joined, sometimes they didn't. It wasn't until the school district got involved, and because of a compliment that somebody complimented what our football program was doing was awesome. They launched an investigation, and it kind of went sideways from there.
7 years later,
Yeah.
Jeremy, question for you. Some Americans who woke up to this news today, who have seen recent rulings in the past couple of weeks by the court having to do predominantly with religious liberty, but some maybe who are skeptical, saying that, wow, the line between church and state a little blurrier today. What do you say to them?
I think they woke up this morning in America that has more freedom than you and I have experienced in our lifetime, that the Establishment Clause can no longer be used by school districts to punish the free exercise and free speech rights of teachers and coaches across the nation. And on top of all that, it's a reminder to school districts everywhere who would violate the civil rights and First Amendment freedoms of coaches like Coach Kennedy for private acts of religious activity, that they're going to pay the price for that very thing. That no longer can they insist that their teachers and coaches leave their constitutional rights at the schoolhouse gates. Instead, they're welcome to bring those through those gates. We already know that students have every right to be able to bring their religious liberty to campus, whether that's on the football field or in a classroom discussion, a classroom assignment, and more. Now we also know that no one can be fired from their job just because they can be seen by a student engaged in religious activity. That's tremendous news. And as Justice Gorsuch put it, we have now a more inclusive and diverse society because of this very principle.
And there's also some criticism I want you to respond to as well, because especially on the left side of the aisle, some would say, well, what if Joe was of the Jewish faith? What if Joe was of the Islamic faith? Would this still be the same? Your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. And I would be the first one there in line to defend them for free, because they deserve every bit of rights as well. Look, what Justice Gorsuch said today was that the school district engages in discrimination by preventing people of faith from bringing their faith through the schoolhouse gates. So if you are Jewish, Presbyterian, Methodist, Baptist, Catholic, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, or some other faith tradition, you have every right to bring that faith with you through those schoolhouse gates. And it is discrimination. It is a violation of the Free Exercise Clause. It is a violation of the Free Speech Clause of the First Amendment. It is a violation of your civil rights for a school district to fire you because you've allowed your religion to be seen by others on the other side of those schoolhouse gates. That's a tremendous ruling by the Supreme Court here today, and it's going to protect teachers, coaches, and others throughout the entire country because of it.
I just want to read in part from Justice Gorsuch's majority opinion today. He said, respect for religious expressions is indispensable to life in a free and diverse republic, whether those expressions take place in a sanctuary or on a field, and whether they manifest through the spoken word or a bowed head. Joe, this has really, thrown your life into turmoil, into the spotlight. You've been doing so many interviews. So many have followed this case. Are you excited to just get back to normal?
Yeah, I don't even know what normal is anymore. I'm just so thankful that everybody has supported me in this. That is the greatest thing. I didn't want to be in the spotlight. I'm looking forward to all the lights shut off and we can move on. The only lights I want to see is Friday night lights. And I think we're almost there. So the end is in sight, and I'm just so thankful for everybody and having, the freedom that everybody in America should be celebrating right now.
All right. Joe Kennedy, Jeremy Dykes, we appreciate your time here on Live Now from Fox, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, so